Whether you're a pro player, hardcore casual player, speedrunner, good spammer, or just come to Night's Emergence once in a while for nostalgia, this video is for everyone who's ever played the remake. Specifically, as you can see, I'm referring to the buildings. More specifically, the building times. We have a total of 29 buildings if we have the full set, including the Siege Workshop. But even if you play the vanilla that you have one less building, 28 instead of 29, 20 out of those 28 or 29 are the ones where we have a building cycle. And as you can see in this table is the number of seconds it takes for each building to run, including the time he takes for a break. So if he doesn't have to eat and he would be able to run forever, these are the exact times down to the 10th of a second. I have var, short for varies, for the Quarry and the Vineyard because they vary depending on where the resource is. And I have for the Siege Workshop NA because it wasn't in the remake before, but it is now. But from previous versions of my mod, for those who know about it, I have 86.8 seconds. I actually changed it to 87.7. It'll be like that in the next release. But anyway, for all the other buildings, the new time, they're almost identical. Several of them are actually identical. So for example, from the original game, it wasn't our imagination that one farm would be enough for one mill and one mill would be enough for one bakery. But it hasn't been like that in the remake, because if you look at a mill, it runs every 42.7 seconds. But a farm, if you've seen any of my farm efficiency videos, you know that one farm is not enough to power a mill. It's just not enough. Even optimal farms, like this one right here, which is connected from the right and sealed off from the left, or connected from the left and sealed off from the right, or connected from the bottom and sealed off at the top. Not even those farms will be enough to fully supply or keep a mill running constantly. In the current remake, as I mentioned here, this is pretty much what it's going to take, and I'm going to be making a video on farm efficiency hopefully soon. I keep telling people on Discord and different places that I'm going to make it, but I really want to make another one. Just maybe one final one, but it looks like I might have to make even another one after that if the building times are changed. But anyway, yeah, it's going to take actually 2 farms and they can have 8 fields each. Like something as simple as this. But even this, these farms are only enough to fully supply a mill. But a mill runs every 42.7 seconds. But a bakery runs even faster. So even one fully powered mill is not going to be able to fully power a bakery. For example, for those who've seen the Shadow Kingdom Mission 20 with militia only, where I have 6 farms but only 5 mills. We can see that all the mills have constant corn. But if we look at the bakeries, this bakery doesn't have any flour. This one may get flour before he begins running again, but who's to know, right? So the point is, in the remake, so far it hasn't been able to match the original game in that way, that this building runs exactly the same amount that this building does, and this farm can definitely supply this if it's somewhat efficient. It's got to be, this is efficient enough. If it has 15 fields and it's like this, it'll definitely be efficient enough. If the mill's run cycle time is increased from 42.7 seconds to 46.1, then this farm will be able to constantly supply or fully supply this mill. An optimal farm would be overkill at that point. There would be extra corn left over. As you can see, if we were to change all the old, which is in the current remake, into what they should be to match the original game, and I'm going to get to that in a little bit, show you a comparison. So you can see that my new code to improve it has actually made it match the original game exactly. Both the animations and the timing. From when they take a resource that they consume until they put the resource they make, or resources if we're talking about the pig farm, until they put those out for delivery. We can see that all of them would increase. They'd all get slower, except for the Vineyard and the Quarry. The Quarry really doesn't matter. A 10th of a second doesn't really matter, and even a second less for a Vineyard doesn't really matter. But what will matter are the ones that they have a significant amount of time, like 5 seconds or more. The armor smithy is what really started this all off, because not only is the animation off, where as you can see, obviously the left is the original game, or in this case the Steam version. So I'll have that on the left side for all of these comparisons, and I'll show you without commentary towards the end. I'm just going to show all 20. Not only is the timing off, the animation off, but in the remake, at one point when he hits the hammer, you don't hear it. And as I'll comment with the next building, some frames are completely missing. See, it's already off. Right there. I don't know if you heard it, but I can rewind it so you can pay attention now. There's no hammer sound. Right there. He didn't hit it here like he should have. He always, in the original game, the animation, he will hit it. And then he'll pull the hammer away, but they missed frames for that too, where he didn't hit it. So he finishes off a little early, and that's how I have it. I'm going to, when they finish, I'm going to make it black, just like that, so you know when he's done. This building is not by very much. It just finishes 1.2 seconds too early. And by the way, Crumb started a thread in ideas because I started to bring this up. And he knows how deep I can get into a topic, so he wanted to keep all my posts about something into a thread. I guess he wanted to start for that reason. But at the beginning, I said 1.105 times as fast. So like when I was showing this video, you're probably thinking, if you know anything about the original game versus the remake, at least with the clock speed is concerned, the remake runs faster. It actually runs in normal time. But the original game, it runs slower. And for Cam's speedrun, just to make the runs fair between those who are playing the remake versus those who are playing the Steam version, I went and for all previous contestants, before I made this an official rule, that before I became a moderator here, I went and retimed theirs by multiplying their video that they had in real time by 0.92. I have a playlist down here for speedrun rule info, and only one video showed there because that's the only one that's public. The rest of them are unlisted, but they're here. But it's this video right here. Yeah, 0.92. But even though I said that here because I mentioned 1.105 in my second video, which is technically the third in this playlist, but my second video about my Siege Workshop mod, that right here that it's 0.905, but it's actually the inverse of this, which is 0.913. Around there. I can't get it exact, but at least through the Siege Workshop, which is the longest running building, it's very clear that the remake runs 1.0947 times as fast as the original game. Just mentioning that for those see this and say, of course it has to be off because this runs slower than this. Well, no. Because what I did in all these video comparisons was I used a video editor, obviously. I put this video clip on the left, this one on the right, and I multiplied the playback speed of this by that 1.0947 factor so that it technically will run as fast as the remake does. And then I compared them. And when I start them off, I don't know if you know this player at all, this is Media Player Classic, but if I just press Control and the right arrow, as you can see immediately on the next frame, so this goes frame by frame, even less than a frame. Sometimes it doesn't even move when I nudge this. So control and right arrow key just to nudge it. Like I just nudged it and it didn't even move. But that's what I did in the video editor. I went to the smallest increment, which in my video editor, which is Shotcut. It's a free video editor that you can edit videos in HD. It's 1/50th of a second. So to start them off, I make sure that they're like this, that they haven't taken the resources yet. So they haven't, this guy has 3 iron bars, this guy has 5. I hold down control and I right arrow, then the resource is gone. That means the building has started, okay? That's how I compare them. And when I observed these animations frame by frame, and I did so by using Microsoft Excel, I inserted the images here. I could explain how to do this in another video. This would be more for people who are interested in adding new buildings into this game or want to verify what I did, if it's correct or whatnot, for themselves. But I'll provide a link to this in the video description. This Microsoft Excel workbook, which I have in Google Sheets, so even if you don't have Microsoft Office, you can still see all of these sheets for free. These tabs won't be colored like this, but you'll still have all these tabs. But basically, that's what I did. I observed frame by frame the sequence. And with doing that, first of all, we're going to see that they're identical now, with the sound sequence, with the animation, and with the time, from start to finish, down to the frame. The remake has other factors in it that may affect the building time, like the break time. I'm not exactly positive if it's exactly 5 seconds. I mean, I don't know anymore at this point, you know, how close other parts of the remake are to the original game. But with just them being side by side and identical, when the building is running, from when he first takes the resource till when he puts out the resource that he makes out for delivery, whatever happens after that, as far as the serfs and the remake are concerned or whatever, I have timed the buildings and have come up with this table. This is time from the source code itself. So let's compare these two. I mean, it's instant when they're finished. Like, I can come here and hold down control and press the right arrow. I mean, you can see it. I mean, it's just here, and then I'm tapping it. It's just one, but it's not even a tenth of a second. So it's not exactly exact, but it's as close as it can possibly get. And I provided this short video, which I guess I can provide the link in the video description, on how I modified the source code. For those who understand it, they can see why this is as close as it can possibly get. Another building I want to comment on is the butchers. Watch right here that this is the current remake before I made the changes, okay? And I have up there old, so you know. Old means old. Right there, he completely misses an extra set of frames for stringing the sausage. Even though it wasn't very much of a string of the sausage, he just doesn't do it at all. Look at the original game. Right there. So that could explain one of the reasons why the butcher is so different. But something that makes the butchers and a lot of the other buildings so different in time in this list, the ones that are more than 3 seconds, is because at the end of it, in the original game, it takes a 3-second break. I don't know if y'all remember this. I mean, he's still going right now because the remake has skipped all those frames for stringing the sausage for every single time he stringed the sausage. There's a bit of a gap caused just by that. But when we get here, all of a sudden it's like this. I don't know if y'all remember that from the original game, that 3-second pause where it's just nothing happens and then the sausage appear. As a kid growing up, when I saw that, I was thinking, okay, it looks like he's in a 2-story house and he's got to bring the sausages down. So he's got to come out the door maybe, or go downstairs and then stick them out there or whatever. So that's how I made sense of that delay when I was a kid. That 3-second delay is in the Armory workshop, bakery, butchers, mill, swine farm, tannery. I think that might be it, but you'll be able to see for yourself. I don't need to really tell you that. Oh, also definitely the siege workshop, but it's not, the 3-second delay is actually not the very end. It's a very sophisticated building. It occurs first and then something occurs after it, as you'll be able to see. I include that in this video too, for those who like my mod, but if not, you can just skip it. But if we're talking about detail and cam art and everything, probably the most grotesque of all the buildings that they did in the remake, I think the pig farm, or the swine farm, whichever you want to call it, it's probably the worst, because it's like the butchers that he skips frames. I don't know if you noticed, he's gonna jump. After he does this with the arm going up and down, it's just a complete jump. But here it's a complete smooth transition from when his arm is up and then he jerks around and then he comes back up and down. Yeah, it's just... And then he finishes really early, right? So early in comparison. The sound is off. And not only is the sound off, the sound pitch is wrong. I'll provide a link to this in the video description too. Crom himself fixed it for the next version of the remake, so the vanilla, and it's also going to be in my mod. I was going to post corrections to this anyway if he wouldn't have done it, and I'm kind of surprised he did it, but he did it because it seems like he wants to take this seriously to match the original game, so I'm happy that he did that. This is an example that we talked about the most, was the corn cut sound. Vastly different. The swine farm uses the same chopping sound as the butchers. As you can see here, this is what it is now. We all recognize if we play the remake for any amount of time. So this was me fixing it, and that's what this video is all about, that I'm going to provide a link to in the video description. It's unlisted. I never really meant for anyone to see it except for me to mention in a video like this, but I actually went to sounds.dat, that's where all these files are located, and I changed a certain character basically change the pitch. Crumb and I talked about that here in ideas. As I've said again, this is not a place that we can talk about my mod. Overall, it's not a very friendly place. I don't recommend anyone who hasn't been a part of it to go there. You're really not missing out on anything, but if you want to join, I can't stop you. Yeah, basically, Crumb and the mods, they favor certain people. They can do whatever they want to do, say whatever they want to say to provoke somebody to anger, and if they have any self-respect at all and want to tell them something to try to put them in their place with just facts, not even with profanity or anything, then they delete the posts. Their friends can say whatever they want and it's okay. Only they and their friends have free speech. No one else does. So that's one of the reasons why I say it's not friendly. But anyway, this is where I posted that video, and then he mentions that it's not the pitch, but it's the sample rate. That's what I was actually changing in the sounds.dat file. But just like I made this table here, which he requested me to make, that I made this table here to show the before and after with the sample rate of what I was comparing it to when I was just listening to it by ear with the Steam version or the original game versus the remake. And when I made the changes to the sounds.dat file, this is the difference in the sounds that I found on the right. So the rest of them were okay, and as you'll see in the video, I mentioned when it's okay and when it's not okay. And I wasn't right for all of them, but there was more than just the pitch. There was also other variables, other things for sound files to play correctly that Crom found in the file itself and fixed it. So all that is good, and I'm happy that is done. You can hear the sound difference. Lower pitch, higher pitch. Hopefully the building cycles themselves will be fixed as well. The hammer sound is fine, so it was kind of random which sounds were wrong. But anyway, for the rest of this video, I'm just going to provide the corrected version of each building back to back. And let me know in the comments section if y'all think this should be added to the remake. The economy is going to be affected. How you've been playing, you're going to have to adjust your play a little bit. For example, here at the very end of the thread, if you're more an advanced player and you have automated markets, which I talk about in other videos, one of them is relatively recent, you can find the video title for that. Like if you click here on my channel and then you click videos, it's over here, automated market example. But a common trade for automated markets is skins to iron ore. And this is what it is right now, current, and then this is what it would be if we would have these new times. I haven't really got any feedback from Crom yet. He said this, that basically if I make a table to document the differences, that maybe later. Yeah, so just let me know what y'all think. But again, for the rest of the video, I'm just going to be showing before and after for each of the 20 buildings. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.